Hi, this is group number 13 and revenue management. We are made up of Matthew Clifford, Sandy Evans, Andrew Wilson, Max Cobb, and Dongfang Guato. We're going to be talking about World of Warcraft from a revenue management perspective. So our agenda for the day is first we're going to go over the background of the game, what it is, and how they make their money. Next we're going to talk about the current status of the game, some of their policies, and how the game is trending right now. Then we're going to take a look at the demand data and see how that's declining and see what sort of trends we can expect in the future. Next we're going to take a look at the pricing strategy as it stands and also offer some suggestions on how to improve it. Then we're going to look at the customer segmentation strategy that Blizzard is currently using, and we're also going to offer ways to improve upon that. And finally, we're going to show you how all of our improvements will result in an increase in revenue in the near future. So here's a quick background of the game for those of you who don't know what World of Warcraft is. It's what's called an MMORPG, which is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. Basically, people log into the game, get into the same world, and play the game with each other. And right now, there are over 7 million people who do this on a month-to-month subscriber basis. Now, Blizzard, which owns this game, has been the industry leader since about 2004. The way they make their money is they charge a startup cost by the game initially, and then they charge a subscription fee every month, which can vary slightly depending on how much or how you commit to the subscription. We're going to get in depth into that in a little bit. As of now, there is very little microtransaction revenue coming in, which is something that we're going to take a little look at and see how we can improve upon. So currently, World of Warcraft is suffering a little bit of a decline. At its peak in 2010, there were about 12 million subscribers, which is by far the highest in history for an online game that requires a paid subscription. But since then, as you can see in the graph, it's been declining. Most recently, last quarter, 700,000 subscribers left the game. So we're going to look at how we can reduce that rate of attrition. So here's the demand data. We graphed it two separate equations, one before the peak and one since the decline began in 2010. As you can see, there are bumps in demand whenever an expansion pack is released, or if there's some major upgrade to the game, like a content patch or something like that. But since the peak of the game a few years ago, subscription rates have been declining very quickly. We're going to see how we can reverse that, or at least mitigate it a little bit. So why is the demand declining? There are a couple of reasons. You have external factors and internal. The external is basically stuff that we cannot control. Stuff like competition from other games, graphics becoming dated over time, and how some people in certain countries can't get access to the game for economic or political reasons. Internal stuff that we can control, stuff like subscription pricing plans, how we segment the customer base, and the kind of incentives we can offer to gamers, such as like an in-game weapon or an item or a horse or something like that, that we can get people to become more interested in the game. So the way the pricing works as of today, you can either be on a 1-month or 3-month or a 6-month subscription plan. Now, World of Warcraft has never changed this pricing throughout its almost 10-year history. So we're going to look at how we can improve upon that, especially how we can redefine the market segmentation and take advantage of additional revenue streams from each one. And here's how we're going to do that.
So just like any video game, there's a life cycle of the player, going from starting to ramp as they, everything's new to them, ramping up all the way through to burnout and playing only casually. So we've decided to use these 5 categories as a way of segmenting the market. So the first is the starters. Everything's new and exciting. They're excited to play. They're just learning all the rules and everything. And they're basically going to categorize within a month into these other groups. So we really want to focus on these 4 groups and how we can maximize revenue within each group. So from starting, they go into ramping up, where they're really kind of getting into it, gaining interest, basically moving towards either trying to become a master, or maybe figuring out that they're not good enough and moving